Do you know in life, if you don't take action, people always take you for granted. And exactly the same thing is what is happening in our normal life. Now, let me tell you the experience I had 3 months ago. In my working place, we actually have a toilet. It's kind of like a general toilet because most of our clients always use the toilet when they come, and some of our staff, or all of our staff, let me not say some, all of our staff. But I noticed that nobody wants to wash the toilet. But immediately I wash the toilet, I step out and I come back again. The whole place is messed up. And sometimes I would be so upset. I would say something like, I will never clean this place again. No matter how dirty the place is, I will never clean it again. But I will still find myself going back to clean it when the place is dirty. Sometimes I will just abandon it for a while. The place will look so messed up. Nobody will even dare to clean it. And I keep on doing like that all the time. I will complain, but yet I will still go back to clean the place. Then one day I decided to take action. And do you know what that action resulted into? It resulted into a permanent clean toilet. Let me share with you what I did. After I cleaned the toilet, I picked a key and I locked that place. I said, whosoever that is entering this place have to take permission so that by the time that person return the key, that place has to be surveyed to be to be sure that that place is cleaned. When that place was locked, nobody they come to ask for the key for like few days. After they start coming to ask, please, can I use the toilet? I noticed that nobody they messed up the place. And the place up till now is more than 3 or 2 months, if I can remember it correctly. The place is always very dry and clean. That happened because I took action. It happens in most areas of our life. If you want a change, you have to take action. If you're just waiting passively and expecting things to fall into place, it will never happen. Now, let's say for instance, I didn't took that action that I took. That place would have still been messed up each and every time I wash it. Would have been when I wash it, I went back, the place would have looked messy as usual. But that day I decided to take an extra step because it's not like I've not been complaining that they messed up the place. Nobody cares. But this time I had to take an extra step to make sure that thing never happens and I observe it. And to my greatest surprise, you don't need to tell someone don't mess up that place after few weeks pass. It becomes a norm, a tradition in them that they do it on their own without being forced to keep the toilet clean. Because one thing I notice in life is what you're repeating doing, it was form and habit. Now everyone that is now using that toilet has now form and habit of keeping it clean because you come in here to see it clean. You have to return it clean. You have to left it clean before you step out. And because they are used to, if I don't keep this thing clean, the place is going to be locked and I may not have access to it. Yes. And this is what is happening in most of our life. You just be sitting down. Like me personally, there was a time that every day I will pick a pen and a book and I will write down the things I wanted to do. But at some point, because I didn't take an extra action, an extra, I don't know how to put it, to make sure I enforce myself to do it, I will always find myself, after I make the first step, I wouldn't even be able to move the second leg. And this is what is happening in most of our lives on daily basics. You do something today and tomorrow you realize that you couldn't even wake up to start from where you stopped yesterday. It happened to most of us. So if you really want to go far in life, I want you not just to say, okay, I will do this. Take an action. Yes, because that story I told you is not a fiction, it's actually what happened in my workplace. The toilet is now permanently clean. Every single day I open that place, I will just look at the place and smile. because I take an action. And that action was not a day action, because if you just do it today and said, okay, because I did it today, tomorrow it's going to happen naturally on its own. No, you have to keep pushing it until you become accustomed to it, because it took them 2 weeks to get used to it. And before the end of 2 weeks, it has already become part of them that that place is supposed to be cleaned every single day. So maybe you want to do something and you just do it the first day, or let's say the first week, and say, okay, I have done it the first week successfully. Maybe the next following weeks, everything will fall into place on its own. No, you have to make sure you get used to it. You have to make sure that you are accustomed to that very particular thing. And when you are accustomed to it, let me tell you, you will do it without even knowing. Yes, because it has become part of you. Remember that forming an habit is something that you do it repeatedly. When you repeat doing something over time, sometimes you will even do it without realizing it, because that thing has automatically become part of you. So what am I trying to say? If you want to achieve something, don't just do it today, okay, and say, okay, today I actually did it. It was a success. Tomorrow it's going to happen naturally on its own. Yeah, let me say, yes, it's going to happen naturally on its own. That is because if you keep on doing it till you become used to it, if you keep on doing that thing, you keep on taking that action, forcing yourself to do that thing till you become accustomed to it, till you become used to it, you will find yourself doing it without being pushed, without being forced. Because that is what will happen when your body gets used to a particular thing, when your mind gets used to a particular thing, you see yourself doing it without even realizing it. So if you want to do something, you want to achieve something, I want you to use the same measure I use. Yes, it's gonna work. It's going to work, and you'll be surprised at the end of it that this thing I actually did. Now I'm seeing myself doing it without being pushed, and you will be surprised. Yes, because peradventure I didn't take that action. And when I did, they complained. A lot murmurs, they say bad things, they say whatever they like. And I make sure that I stood on what I said. I even wrote something and I put on the wall. The day my boss came, he saw it and he was just looking. He didn't say anything and it worked and passed. So I think you should do the same to yourself. Sometimes your body will refuse, your energy will refuse, everything will refuse to, align with what you want to do. But you don't have to pay attention to those things. You just have to keep on pushing. You just have to keep pushing till you get to what you want. Because if I actually stop when they started criticizing, ah, you close the toilet. Why is she like this? She's acting bossy and all those things. If actually when they started saying all those things and I felt bad and I went back to unlock the door, the situation would have still be the same. Yes, the situation would have still been the same. I would have keep on washing that place, because no matter how I complain, because I've gotten used to keeping that place clean. No matter how I complain to myself, I will never do this place again. Without knowing it, I will just saw myself washing that place again, cleaning it. So I decided to take that same step I used for myself to make sure everybody get used to keeping that place clean and it works. So this applies to other areas of our life. If you want to get used to something, if you just want to get accustomed to something, you have to do it until you get used to it. When you get used to it, just let it be. Naturally, it will flow, because your body, your mind, everything is just now get used to that thing. It will flow on its own naturally. You do not even need to force it. Yes, that is what I noticed. So I want to say that if there's something that you are struggling, that you're trying to do it on your own, and sometimes it feels like you started it like maybe a week or two, at the sometimes you just abandoned it on the way, or you no longer have the passion. I'm actually embarking on a journey personally on my own. So maybe you can join me. You can drop on the comment section that you want to join me. Maybe I can be reminding you every single morning, okay, have you done that particular thing? Yeah, I can do that. I can create a group for us to do that, because I'm actually embarking on a journey to complete my book. Now, I wrote this book many years ago when I finished secondary school newly. It's actually my life journey. finding me, the things I discover in my family, the pattern, and the thing that's been transferred to the next generation without knowing. So I actually use exercise book. I was using this big ledger while I was working on the book. But by the grace of God, after I got a laptop, it became very difficult for me because I was just posting every day. Okay, when I get a laptop, I will just transfer everything there. But it becomes like a burden. So I just woke up and I said to myself, you have to transfer everything in this book to the system. And I started it. Yes, I started it. I'm making progress. So maybe you can join me. We can achieve something together. See, when you get accustomed to something, when you get used to something, when you keep on doing something, one day you will realize that that thing that you were struggling is flowing naturally. I will not need to be reminded that I'm supposed to write. When I come back from work, no matter how late it is, I know that I'm not supposed to sleep without making sure that I put two or three on the system. I keep on pushing and it has become part of me. You too can do the same until you take that action, until you keep on doing that thing repeatedly, you always find yourself, abandoning important tasks, important things that you were supposed to do. If this message speaks to you, please, I want you to like, subscribe, and follow for more insight. Until next time, bye.